Burnout is so common, and I really don't think we talk about it enough. So Rebecca, what is burnout and what does it look like?
Burnout is the result of long-term stress, and it manifests itself as emotional, mental and physical exhaustion. We all know that stress is a natural part of life, and actually it can be very motivating. You know, those external pressures like a work presentation or having a very busy day can really motivate us to get through. But if it happens for too long or in too high amounts, then that can lead to burnout. And the symptoms of burnout can be very general. They can be problems sleeping, problems concentrating, but if you're experiencing parental burnout, actually it might mean that you're snapping at your children more than you used to. Things like feeling very guilty about your own parenting ability and doubting your own ability to be a parent, or even not wanting to spend time with your children, about kind of feeling resentful about spending amount of time with them. The reason why it's so important to manage is because if it goes unchecked, it can lead to long-term consequences. Physically, it can lead to high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, but also emotionally, it can lead to depression and anxiety, and also those unhealthy coping mechanisms that you might develop because of stress, such as, drugs or alcohol or smoking, can become really entrenched.
And I think importantly, it can really impact on your relationships as well. So that can be your relationships with your children, like you say, being snappy and then feeling really guilty about it, or with your partner. You might sometimes feel resentful of them if they're having an easy time. It can affect your sex drive. But also with family and friends, you might not want to go out and do the things you used to enjoy doing, and that can be another sign that there's something that you're not coping so well.
Yeah, it's about really understanding, how have I changed from normal? Like where's the old me gone?
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of thinking about it. And what would you say are some of the main contributors when it comes to burnout?
Well, for people with young families, they're trying to juggle everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
Things are busy at home, we know. Things are busy at home, they're often working as well, and they're feeling like they can't drop any of those balls.
Yeah.
And I think the lines between work and home life have become completely blurred as people work from home. Yeah. You know, they're trying to put washes on in between teleconference calls and running off to get the kids. And that means that stresses can build up. These kind of small stresses that used to be manageable can suddenly build up and become really overwhelming.
I think sometimes it's just the thought, the fear of, if my child isn't well and can't go to their childcare, and how am I going to cope with that? We're juggling so many things, like you say, and I think trying to be perfect at the same time, trying to keep a tidy house. And so what are some of the things people can do to alleviate some of this stress and manage their lives to avoid burnout?
So there are personal things that you can do, like going back to basics in terms of making sure that you're getting enough sleep. I know that's really hard for people with young children. Making sure that you're eating well. So that means not eating the leftovers or getting a takeaway when the kids have gone to bed, but maybe trying to carve out time where you can all make a nice meal together so that you're getting good nutrition. Making sure that you have exercise. I'm a really big believer in that. And you're getting outside to get daylight every day. But also, maybe keeping a journal, jotting down your worries, taking time to do self-care time, like breathing exercises, even in the middle of a busy day. But then there's external things. You mentioned the house. Actually, it doesn't have to be tidy all the time. So it's really about prioritising the things that you can drop and take off your plate just until the kind of volume of those other stresses has reduced.
And I think also asking for help, because often people are willing to help, so asking for that help and accepting it and not feeling like you have to be Superwoman and do everything by yourself, or Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think if people are really struggling and even, putting some of those things in place, they feel they are approaching burnout, then getting some professional help.
Yeah, and I think a great place to start is your GP.
Absolutely.
They're really used to talking to people about these kinds of issues and about signposting people to the right kind of help, whether that be talking therapy or maybe even some other referrals or treatment if that's necessary.